Welcome to The Table, the podcast where we share real stories, struggles, and victories as we walk together in faith. This week's episode is kind of a mini episode. You could just think of it as your own personal Marco Polo from me and Jenna. We're talking about all the things we wish our listeners knew. And I hope you'll find some encouragement buried within there, or at least walk away knowing a little bit more about us and the podcast process and what we're trying to do here. So enjoy this mini episode just for you.
Okay. All right. Here is this week's episode. It's all the things we wish people knew about. We haven't talked about this, about us, about the podcast, about anything and everything. What's something, Jenna, that you wish people knew?
Probably how unscripted this is. I mean, I get some of Catherine's ideas and questions ahead of time.
Yes.
And I really just have to pray and think over them. But there are times where my weeks are crazy. Last year when Brian went through his medical situation, whatever we want to call that, brain hemorrhage. When he went through that, I really didn't have time to study. I was sitting in hospitals and doctors' offices. I just didn't have time to study like I wanted to, but I was constantly reading my Bible on my phone in an app, sitting through all these appointments. Or I would just talk to the Lord. And somehow, despite going through that very heavy season, we were able to still have the podcast and keep going on. But it's so unscripted. Like, we really just get on here with a few possible questions and we just kind of go back and forth. It is an honest, real-time conversation. Thankfully, it is somewhat edited before it comes out because there are so many ums and wait a minute, I need to say that again, or I can't find my train of thought. Can I start overs on my side? There's another
Both sides.
So it's unscripted. It really is. It's just having a basic conversation, but you can edit things out, and that does ease the tension a little, especially when we have guests. It does ease their minds. We've had a lot of people say no to coming on here because I don't know what they think, but it eases their minds to know that it can be edited. But I think it's also been really, even though it's unscripted, it does prepare my heart. Like, I have to be thinking about those questions a little ahead of time, but I also think that this grows me and stretches me in having unscripted conversations in my day-to-day life. I have to know what I believe and why I believe it and why I stand on it. And I also, when someone asks me, hey, are you okay? Or how are you doing? I don't want to say I'm fine all the time when I'm not fine. I want to be honest. I think that's also taught me how to be more specific with my words, even if I trip on them, even if I mess up. I want to be more specific with what I say and how I say it. And I want to tell the truth. If I'm not fine, I don't want to say, well, I'm fine. And if I'm having a really good day, then I need to say that I am blessed. And I'm not always good at that. And I think this has taught me through the unscripted nature of podcasting how important it is to just have those conversations and not be scared of them. So that's something I wish people knew, is that it's totally unscripted and it is uncomfortable, but it's also really a benefit.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine that we're uncomfy a little bit. And I'll be honest, I think I know what a lot of people think because every time we have a guest come on here, they're like, wait, what? They think that we're going to just like home video the conversation and then play it back for everybody else. And you're right, it's not like that. But also, neither is real life conversation. I know that I like can't take back what I said, but it's not permanently stored for people to keep going back and listening to over and over. So like be encouraged because this is not scripted. It probably could stand to be more scripted. And I don't think that's what you're getting in 2026. So Yeah, I think that's a great thing to tell with people or to tell people. Another thing I wish people knew is that we're learning as we go. And I think that was painfully obvious in the beginning. But if, like, you would be so surprised at the things that I do not know how to do, or the things that are just hard to learn in this whole process. I remember Justin a couple of weeks ago, and I can say this because I can. I guess I get to tell everything. When he was sitting at the couch, and I was doing something to the girls in their room, and I heard the podcast come on the TV, which does not happen. We do not listen to the podcast, except for the one time that I have to listen to it to edit it. We don't listen in the car. We don't listen on the TV. And I heard it play, and I come out, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You just have to listen. Like, listen to this." He was like, "It sounds different," and I was like, "I know. Just turn it off. I know. I've done all I can to fix it and to make it sound the same and make the transition be correct, and I can't figure it out, and it's just gonna have to be how it is today." So I know there's probably some things that are annoying or things that you prefer that we do better, but and we're learning. We're learning as we go. We're doing the best that we can, and we talked about that a little bit in our last episode. But um,
It's definitely not perfection. It's presence over
no,
perfection here.
yes,
We're just
yes,
trying to
we're
show
just
up.
showing up. Yes, yes. And we're doing the best we can. So give us the benefit of the doubt if you're like, wow, I wish Catherine and Jenna could really get it together and do this different. You can tell me what those things are. I'll listen to you better than I listened to Justin when he tried to show me the problem with the video. But yeah, we're doing the best we can. We
Well,
welcome any
it's
help.
well, and it's frustrating too. Is this is something that we've learned to tell any guests, and we've just come to expect it. We did it in the beginning, but
Yeah.
every time we have a guest or go to record just the two of us, something goes wrong. And we learned this really quickly in the beginning. And I think I kind of knew it ahead of time, just knowing that if you're trying to step out in faith and do something for the Lord, the adversary is going to do anything that he can to knock you off your tracks every single
Yeah.
time.
Every
I'm
time.
just used to that in my life after being married to a pastor for almost 19 years. Like, I really notice it because he really is trying to follow the Lord and stay in the word. And the adversary just works really hard at times. And you must be doing something right if that's the case. And that's what I noticed here. And I don't think you were fully prepared for that in the
Was
beginning.
not. Nope.
um, that
Not.
the adversary works so hard if you're doing something for the Lord. And it's silly things like the sound not working, but we're doing the same thing that we did last time, or the computer
Yeah.
going out and or going to sleep when it's never done that before, or the link not working, or the audio and the video, the audio's here but no video. It's something every single time. And I don't think people really know that either, that this doesn't just come easy. It's not
Yeah.
just something, this is simple. We just get on here and record. No, the adversary actually is working. He's actually working here to try to keep us from doing this. It's been thing after thing after thing. And it finally got to the point where I realized it and kind of told Catherine, we've got to expect this. And then it made me realize, like, same thing's going to happen to our guests. They're sharing deep personal experiences.
Yeah.
The adversary is going to work on them too. And let's encourage them beforehand and remind them that we're doing this for the Lord. And anything that you do for the Lord, the adversary is not pleased with. And we can, ignore that or just be prepared for it. And I'd rather us be prepared and know that he's going to come after it. And he does every single week. Every single week.
Yes. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's rewarding. It's
Mhm.
it's not it's fun. I have a great time most of the time. Some of the time I have 17 minutes to edit a 60-minute episode and get it ready to go and the computer crash. Like there have been a lot of challenges that I was 100% not prepared to deal with. So, and I just thought about this. this is the only space where I do this kind of work, but this kind of thing is very similar to what I do in my everyday life. I mean, like I teach that's my job. I teach, right? And I don't have these problems then. I don't ever have technical issues when I'm at work, or I don't ever struggle with software or computers or Wi-Fi or sound. And I do this kind of thing all the time. So I think you're right. I think there's something to when you're doing something like this for the Lord that that he doesn't the devil doesn't like it. And that's not just the podcast, that's anything. Like
Right.
that probably happens in our listeners' lives, in your life all the
Right.
time, and you don't realize it. And when you pointed that out to me, it doesn't make it less frustrating, but it makes it smoother, I think, for me to know I just need to take a deep breath. This is going to be fine. I'm going to figure it out in the end. I just need to expect that this isn't going to be easy. It's just going to
And
be
you
something to wrestle with.
and I think we've really had to learn how to hand this over to God. Each
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
we can do all the things right, and it's really up to the Lord to use this if he sees fit. Like we're laying this at the Lord's feet and in his hands and saying, Lord, if you want to use this, do so. Um, I think that's really important too, that we realize how heavy this is at different times throughout the episodes. And I, there's been times where people walk up to me or send a text and they tell you how much this particular episode meant, or this line you said really stuck out to me and I've been praying on it, or whatever it is. I realized within the first few weeks of doing this podcast, and even more so now, how heavy this is. Like things of the Lord are weighty and they matter and they are eternal. They last. Our relationship with the Lord will go on forever. And the heaviness of that, like, yeah, you can just sit down and have a conversation, but it matters what
Yeah.
is said here and what you share and what you're praying about. Those things matter. And I don't know that people know that, and particularly for me, how serious this feels to me and how much it matters to me that it's done in a way that honors the Lord. And that is weighty, and there's no way around it.
Yeah.
Um, Anything that's done for the Lord, I feel like we should do our best at it. And it's just the way that I feel, but more so now that as we get into this more and you realize people are listening, whether they're
Yeah.
commenting or liking or not, you know that they are. And that to me feels such like it feels like a heavy responsibility that the Lord has given to us. And it's really important. And I don't take it lightly. And I don't know that people know that, but I wish they did. They did know that this means a lot to us, and we are very prayerful and careful when it comes
Yeah.
to this podcast.
Yeah. I like that word, careful. I think we put a lot, I'm, I know that you do. I know that I do. Put a lot of care into the way that we deliver this. And into the things that we say and the topics that we address.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good thing to point out. I hope people know that. I wish people knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else is on your list that you wish people knew?
How unorganized I am.
That's
What
okay.
a mess. What a mess I am. How many bloopers there are. How many times my phone falls down. Uh, how my hair is often wet. How I just came in from an appointment and sat down. How I am late all the time. I mean, this is not, again, going back to the point of this is not perfect. And you
Yeah.
can edit it to make it look really great. But behind the scenes, there are bloopers like you would not believe. And even the things that Catherine doesn't see when we're here recording, there are things going on that Catherine just doesn't know about. Um, and we sit down to do this, and I try to I'm emotional and I cry a lot and you know, mess up my words. But I'm not perfect. we're not perfect. And I felt that recently at that winter youth weekend when I had these young women coming up to me and asking me for advice just because they've seen me on the podcast. It's kind of like, you know, celebrities talk about, or people talk about seeing celebrities on TV, and then when they meet them in person, like what a big deal it is. Because they see them every week, they feel like they
Yeah.
know them. Well, that's kind of what those young women kind of made it feel like. They were saying like, you don't know us, but we know you. We watch you every week and we listen to you every week. I am not a celebrity just because I'm sitting right here. I am just one person who's trying to do what the Lord has called me to, and I am a mess. And again, without the Lord, I would not be doing this because I am not a great speaker. I'm not a great teacher. I'm not very studied. I'm just trying. And I think every person can attest to that, is that we don't feel like we're worthy. We don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like we're enough, period. Um, because we're not without the Lord. And I constantly feel that um, that I want that to be known, is that I'm not here because I feel like I'm better than anyone else, or that I know more than anyone else because I'm low on that totem pole. um, I'm just here because the Lord has used you to call me to this, and I want to serve Him as long as He wants us to do this. And I want to serve Him and do this well because I love Him, and without Him, I'm nothing.
Yeah, that was on my list too. Um, because I think I would hate for someone to misunderstand and think that I am not a mess. And that I can like answer these questions and have these conversations and everything is so great and my faith is so solid and I am a mess. Like you just need to ask anyone who's close to me, I'm a mess. And I do not have anything figured out most days. I
Right.
am moment by moment. But sometimes leaning on the Lord, sometimes I just go by the seat of my pants and end up in a place I didn't want to be in because I was silly and didn't, take it to the Lord first. So I really would just second what you said, and I hope people know that there's not anything special. There's nothing special about me. I'm not like farther along. In fact, I am reminded all the time that I'm such a baby in this walk, and I have so much to learn and so far to go, and so many ways that I can grow. And I hope that makes other people feel like they're in the same boat as us, right? Like that it makes it more approachable. And I'm excited, as crazy as this sounds, like I'm excited for more opportunities to share the mess that I am and walk through the things that I'm wrestling with and things that I'm questioning and things that I'm learning and using this as a space to get to share that with other people. So that's a good
And I
thing.
and I think too, well, I don't think, I know that if there's any good, or you hear any good, or if there's something that comes from this that encourages you or strengthens you in your faith, that it's not us, it's Christ in
Yeah.
us. Period. It's not us, it's the
Yeah.
Lord and Him working in our hearts and our lives to do this, to honor Him.
Yeah. I agree. Anything else on your list that we need to talk about?
Nope.
Anything else you want people to know? We're going to keep dumping things that we want you to know, I guess, on you as we go throughout the next several episodes. But yeah, I hope that a little bit of the behind the scenes, last time we shared some of the ins and outs of what it means for us to do this. And then today, things that we wish people knew. I wish people knew that this is my living room wall and that there's toys all in the floor behind me. And that one of my goals should probably be purchase a backdrop for 2026. Um,
All it takes is a shower
it's a
curtain.
shower curtain. That's what I need. I need some hooks on the wall for my shower curtain. Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Jenna. Thanks for doing
Thank
this.
you.
I hope that people know us a little bit more or feel like they can approach us, and that they could probably do the same thing we're doing, and maybe even better. But thanks for being here, and we'll be back with something really exciting to talk about next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks for coming to the table. We hope today's conversation encouraged you as you seek Jesus in the big moments and the little ones. Check out the show notes for any scripture, resources, whatever we talked about today. Feel free to share this episode, leave a comment, ask a question, or share your thoughts with us. Come back and join us again next week. We'll be right here. If you haven't already, go follow or subscribe wherever you listen and find us on socials to catch up if you don't have time to listen throughout the week, or just to find out what all the next episodes are about. Also, we know you have things to say, examples to share, wisdom to give, so look for opportunities this week to share with those around you or even with us. All right, we'll see you next time.